Welcome! Today we're diving into one of the most dynamic and honestly one of the most critical areas of hotel management, strategic pricing for the MICE sector. Meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions.
This quote really gets right to the heart of what we're talking about. We're not just slapping a price tag on a meeting room, not at all. We are designing a complete framework, one that covers both the financial side and the experience itself.
And that framework, that whole approach, it boils down to one word: discipline. It's this discipline mindset that separates an event that just fills some space from one that truly builds your hotel's profitability. And, just as important, its reputation for the long haul.
Hello, everyone. I'm a hotel AI expert, and it's a real pleasure to welcome all of you from the Europe Hotel School as you start this part of your online learning journey. Now, let's get right into the thick of it.
Okay, so let's tackle the big one, the MICE pricing challenge. At its core, it's this constant balancing act, right? You have to be competitive enough to actually win the business, but you also have to make sure that the business you win is genuinely profitable. It's a tightrope walk for sure.
So, what makes MICE so tricky? Well, it's the sheer number of moving parts that all have to work together. This isn't like a simple room booking. A MICE event is a whole bundle of services. You've got guest rooms, meeting spaces, catering, AV, maybe even decor and transport, all happening at once. And that means you just can't price any of these things in a vacuum. You have to see the entire picture.
Before you even dream of putting together a proposal for a client, you have got to do your internal homework. This is the science behind the art. These are the foundational pillars that you just can't skip.
And the very first pillar, the absolute bedrock of your strategy, is knowing your true cost structure. This is not about guessing. You need to know, down to the last euro, what it really costs to staff a banquet or run that fancy AV equipment. Without this knowledge, you're basically pricing in the dark. And trust me, that is the fast track to losing money.
Next up, your brand identity. This directly shapes your pricing. Think about it. If you're a premium, luxury destination, your rates have to reflect that promise of excellence. If you start offering deep discounts, you're just weakening your brand. And on the flip side, if you're a value-driven venue, your pricing has to stay accessible and efficient, while still, of course, covering all your costs.
And of course, no hotel operates in a bubble. Your rate strategy has to be dynamic. It has to adapt to what's going on outside your doors. High-demand seasons or a huge industry conference in town, that allows for premium pricing. Slower periods, you might adjust your rates, but you do it strategically based on data, never on desperation. And don't ever forget about the client's perception of value. A great reputation can absolutely justify higher rates.
So, once we have that foundational science locked down, we can move into the art of pricing. And one of the most powerful tools in your artistic toolkit is packaging.
A really well-built package does something amazing. It simplifies the decision for your client. Instead of them having to weigh a dozen different line items, they see one, clear, comprehensive price. That's a huge win for them. And for you, it's a strategic move to protect your overall profit. You get to bundle services in a way that balances your high-margin items with your low-margin ones. Just remember, a package is only great if your ops teams can actually deliver it seamlessly.
Now, to design these packages effectively, you have to master this one concept, the contribution margin. This is so important. It means you have to stop focusing only on the top-line revenue, the big number on the proposal. What really matters is the profit that's left over after you've paid the direct costs for that service. That leftover piece is the contribution, and it is the true measure of how successful an event really is.
Let's look at a quick example. Guest rooms, they usually have a really high contribution margin because the direct costs are pretty low. But catering? It's often the opposite. High food and labor costs mean a lower margin. By packaging these services together, the fantastic profit from the guest rooms can balance out the lower margin from catering. See how that works? It ensures the entire event, as a whole, is very profitable for the hotel.
Okay, this inevitably brings us to negotiations. Clients are always going to ask for concessions. A complimentary room, a free welcome drink. The disciplined professional sees these not as giveaways, but as strategic tools to be used wisely.
This is the million-dollar question every single sales manager faces, right? The pressure to just say yes to close the deal can be immense. But offering concessions without a clear strategic purpose can kill your margins and set a really dangerous precedent for future business.
The answer is to use a disciplined checklist.
A concession should always be a trade. It's an exchange of value. You offer a complimentary meeting space in exchange for a larger block of guest rooms. You give them an upgrade because they committed to a 3-day conference instead of one. Or you reward them for confirming early, which lowers your risk. Every single concession needs to have a because attached to it, and it has to align with your venue's policies.
All right, let's zoom out for a moment. Because disciplined pricing isn't just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. Its impact creates a ripple effect across the entire hotel, and it ultimately defines the experience your guests will have.
When an event is priced responsibly, what happens? The operational teams have the resources, the budget, the staff that they need to deliver excellence. This directly leads to higher service quality. That, in turn, boosts staff morale because who doesn't want to be proud of their work? And when clients experience that level of excellence, you build the most valuable asset you can possibly have, their loyalty.
See, it creates this incredible positive feedback loop. Sustainable rates fund high-quality service. That great service creates an unforgettable experience. That experience builds your reputation, and a rock-solid reputation is what brings clients back again and again. This is how you build a healthy, sustainable, long-term business.
So, as you all move forward in your careers, I want to leave you with this one thought. You're not just selling rooms and coffee breaks. You're selling experiences, you're selling memories, and you're selling success for your clients. So the ultimate question for you isn't just about what to charge, but about how you will price the often priceless value that you deliver. Thank you.